heading into the heart of Cornwall's culling zone.
I think I've done 4,000 miles since the Cull started, so I've done a lot of driving over the last 3 weeks. I'm doing over 1,000 miles a week.
Jay Tiernan wants to stop the badger cull. It's been licensed by the government to tackle the scourge of TB in cattle. Jay thinks badgers are being trapped and shot nearby.
It does sound very scary, it really does. It's like, like we're going to go and stop some people who've got high-powered rifles. Sometimes they pop up and they're a bit angry, and they're screaming and shouting. Just ignore them. We're not there to have arguments with the farmer. We're there to stop badgers from being killed.
Jay begins to hunt the trapped badgers and the marksmen that shoot them. Over the border, Jenny Pike is also doing her best to disrupt the cull. As soon as she finishes work, she travels an hour and a half from south to North Devon.
We'll meet with the other people and then we'll go out and patrol for 3 to 4 hours. When we travel back home, often getting home about between 2 and 3 in the morning. And that's what I do 4 times a week.
She leads one of the protest groups which have started up in Devon and Cornwall since the cull got underway.
I think there's such a strength of feeling in the southwest. I don't know why, it really seems to have grabbed people's attention. We don't condone any criminal activity at all. All we're doing is walking the public footpath, that's all.
First stop is to check in with the local police.
Because we're aware, obviously, that tensions are running quite high. And there's a lot of youthful exuberance around, so we don't want any trouble. So we're more than happy to see our friends in blue.
That would start on like it's like really hard.
Thank you. Yeah.
Jenny's group's not planning anything illegal, but that doesn't guarantee the night will be trouble-free.
Billy and Millie, as we learned in Somerset, that if you leave anything like this on show, your car will be targeted. I came back from a patrol last year and I had a huge, well, I can only describe it like the end of a dart, put right into my tyre. So they're going now into this set in the car. Right now.
So the idea is if we're in high vis and we're in the area where there are shooters, they can't shoot. They need to move off and go somewhere else for our safety.
And do you ever do any of the saboteur stuff?
Do I?
Yeah.
Certainly not, young man. No.
Back in Cornwall, Jay's got onto a farm.
We've got a leaked list, and this farm is definitely involved in the badger cull.
Jay and his friend, who doesn't want to be identified, are struggling to find any badgers.
Get out of this shadow just here, between here and the corner there. We're just a bit more exposed, it's daytime. There's a farmhouse just over there. We need to get into that corner as quickly as possible.
And they've been spotted.
There's a guy just running past there then. It's just a coincidence. It's just someone ran past, but they just went in. They had a high-vis jacket on. So I was a bit worried it was like a... I thought it might be the police.
Jay's already in trouble with the authorities. He got a suspended prison sentence for breaching an injunction to stop him intimidating farmers. And he owes the National Farmers Union around £120,000 in legal costs. The NFU said he behaved with utter contempt for the law. Jay gave us this footage. Releasing badgers isn't a crime, but cutting up cages almost certainly is.
There are other people that are doing this in a more legal way, by going out and patrolling, that might cross. Yeah. I mean, is that not something which you might want to do instead, or have considered?
No, they're doing it. It's fine. People who want to stick to the footpaths, they do really good work. It's very important and it's very good work. How do you get to that set there if it's targeted? There's no footpaths near it. They just kill and kill without anyone stopping them.
You found a trap there.
Yeah.
And there was nothing in it. What would you do?
I'd jump up and down on it until it was flat, so it couldn't be used again.
Okay. Which then that is damage, isn't it?
Yeah, that's total damage. Yeah, totally. Yeah, but it has to be done. If you don't do it, then the cage. If you just close the cage, next day someone else is going to come along, open it up, and it'll be killing it again the next day.
A few minutes later, a farmer turns up.
All right. We're just leaving.
Jay and his friend are escorted off.
Just having a walk.
Yes, I like them.
In Devon, Jenny's on the move too.
Oh, did you hear that owl? And just keep an eye out, keep our ears open and our eyes open.
The group isn't looking to free badgers or destroy traps. They want to deter marksmen.
We just hope that if we're in the area and if there were any shooters, that they would have gone off and have to go elsewhere and hopefully not shoot any badgers tonight.
It looks like they're in the right place.
It says live firing in this area. High velocity bullets are being fired at badgers in this area.
But tonight it seems the badgers are safe here.
The badgers have survived for another night, but it could be that it's going on somewhere else, so we never know where it's going to be going on. All we can do is try and do what we can and be in the right place at the right time.
In Cornwall, Jay's deploying some specialist kit to spot marksmen.
If there was shooters over there, I know that there were shooters.
It's not cheap either, is it?
No, this one is £4,000. It was designed and made for the American military. There's someone right in front of us. No, there's something going on now. Just go.
He heads towards the lights. But ends up bumping into the very people he's trying to avoid.
Are you going to let us go? Or is he committed to us staying there? Did he say?
The police take Jay's details and move on. DEFRA wouldn't tell us how much policing this cull had cost so far, but in a pilot cull, that bill was more than £1,300 per badger. Jay gets back to surveillance. Then more company turns up.
Look, it's him. It's him again.
A farmer has spotted Jay and blocks him and us in.
He's just going to drive into us. God, he's a bit aggressive, isn't he?
Jay, sorry, do you want to just tell me exactly what's happening at the minute?
Well, we're trapped in. We can't go. We're stuck here. We've been trapped in by a very large tractor which has driven quite aggressively.
The farmer doesn't want to talk.
We seem to have upset the tractor driver and the landowner.
Will this deter you? Will this put you off?
No, it wouldn't deter me at all. This just encourages me. To have this sort of response, I must be getting under their skin. Good. We'll see how far we get.
We try and drive out.
Sorry.
But the tractor's not budging. Our cameraman has a good idea.
Sorry? Phone, please?
Yeah, I think so.
In Devon, Jenny's had a quieter evening and is heading home.
There's a real camaraderie. We're all determined with what we're doing and we're pleased to be able to do it. It's nice to know that we're not on our own.
She'll keep making this 3-hour round trip until the cull ends. Back in Cornwall, the police have shown up. After a 2-hour standoff, the farmer lets us leave.
Well, it's an easy mistake to make, obviously, but at the end of the day...
We've since spoken to the farmer, who told us he was concerned about strangers being on his land late at night, and thought we might have been thieves. Jay finally calls it a night. Like Jenny, he's no intention of letting up.
Are we stopping the killing of badgers? Yes, we are.
Supporters of the cull say it will help combat a disease which, according to DEFRA, costs the taxpayer £100 million a year. For opponents, it can never be justified. The cost of all this conflict to the public purse is yet to be revealed.